I just finished recording a video before recording this one. So it was about how I kind of feel that with God's and my Guru's grace and the sadhana's grace, that I feel that whatever reactions or response that uh, I have been able to manage uh, feels beyond my chart, which makes me feel that my birth chart, astrology, the chart there, does not seem to be applying much on me. But many times in our lives, there are external factors that are beyond our control. That is also many times there. We may manage our internal being, how we are inside of us. We can maintain that to a great extent if we are conscious enough. But what is coming for us from the outside world is not in our hands. Most of the times, it is not in our hands. Whatever is in our hand is how we are going to respond to it. And many times it may come as a delay, which may look like it is not anybody else's doing as well, not just us. It is not that we are not doing something or somebody else is making something delayed in our lives. This is such a tricky point if we lightly look at it, but it is not. It is not tricky stuff. You know what delay actually is? It is like staying up all night waiting for the morning, while our karma during the night was to sleep. We did not, and we waited for hours and hours alone in our bedroom, waiting for the sun to rise because we were not aligned with the timing of our life, of this earth, the rotation of the earth. We were not aligned with it. We did not perform the karma that we were supposed to do at night, waking, staying awake till 2 a.m., 3 a.m., maybe 4 or 5 a.m. as well, waiting for the sun to rise. Sun is on its time. Morning will happen on its time. Night has already happened on its own time. There has been no delay. Earth is rotating well. It is doing its duty well. Who is not doing our duty? Who is not doing the duty? It's us. We are not sleeping. It is so, in a way, that we feel delayed, or yeah, we feel delayed because of our own created distraction, and we think that something is not happening. See, our soul, it has its own timings. If we like, just the previous video was about astrology, the consciousness and all. I'm being in the same lines again, that this soul chose a timeline for everything in this particular birth, in this body. So, this body is a tool for this soul to experience all those happenings, those timings, and all that stuff. And here we are. Suppose somebody has a delay in their studies. Maybe it is not on a superficial level, it does not look very aligned with the societal pressure or acceptance. Maybe they graduated at 26 while others graduated at 21st age. Maybe somebody is doing PhD in their early, they complete it in their early 30s, but somebody enrolled in their 50s or 60s. Is that a delay? That is not. They had their own work to do before that study wala experience would happen to them. And many times it is about marriage, family, anything, work. Somebody gets their job uh, in their early 20s. Somebody gets it in their late 30s. Is it a delay? No, it is not. Some soul chose to work in their early stages of life, but somebody had even more important things to experience. They had their more important happenings to happen before they could embark on their working life. So it is not a delay if we look at it well. If we detach ourselves from this societal pressure, the norms that have been set, the many things that have been normalized because everybody else is doing, we have to do too. It is not work like that. Because if it would, maybe all of us would have been robot. What humans are doing with robots, we are assigning the robots a particular task. Every batch of robot, if one particular model is made, and in that batch, that is the sole purpose of that robot, whatever work it is assigned to. So it does not have to fulfill all the criterias that humans have to fulfill in their lives of family, friends, society, fame, name, children, marriage, studies, sports, every other thing that I may not be able to even name it. So we are not robots, and we do not have to work like everybody else. We have to become more conscious of whatever our purpose is. We have to become conscious at night that it is our time to sleep and not to stay awake waiting for the morning to happen. It will happen on its own time. But if we stayed awake the whole night or even half of it, what is going to happen when the morning happens? We will feel very irritable, very easily annoyed with things. Then, how are we going to perform well in the morning? Whatever our duty is there in the morning, we may get irritated in the kitchen while preparing for our breakfast, then. And even the breakfast will not get digested properly since our sleep cycle was ruined already. So, whenever it feels like delaying is happening in our life, we need to be more conscious. We definitely do. About what is the role that I'm assigned in this time period that feels like a delay and I'm not performing it. Maybe for many people, their career is delayed, and it is one of the most frustrating thing for it to get delayed. It kind of launches all kind of attacks within ourselves, and it questions our worth. It increases our frustration. It makes us feel unworthy. Others, out of this reaction that is going on around us, our electromagnetic field also becomes like that, and eventually the things that are happening around sorry inside us get started to get projected on us by others also. Since we are unhappy with ourselves, others also feel us to be a burden on them. So it is one of the most vulnerable delay that can happen to any modern human who wants to be self sufficient, who does not want to rely or depend on others. But here is the thing, frustration is natural, or any other unpleasant emotions that we might be in that time period. I think those are very natural. So maybe feel that frustration like we would sleep at night. Sleeping is what? It is an, uh, if we go by the natural laws, all right, the whole system sleeps at Earth, isn't it so? Plants start breathing differently. All the animals, they behave differently. We as humans, the modern humans, have to behave in a certain way at night. That is the experience of night. So maybe that delay, that frustration, that annoyance, that uh, unworthiness, all these feelings that we are going through in that delay period of career, maybe we have to go through it more gracefully, isn't it? And in that delay period, we can do we can work on ourselves so that when morning happens after that delay, when we get what we want out of our careers, we do not ruin it like we ruined our morning while not sleeping at night. So for that consciousness to arise within ourselves, first we have to sit with ourselves. What this delay period is trying to teach us. It can be about anything. Maybe somebody is waiting for their career to start, to take off. Somebody might be waiting for their studies. Somebody might be waiting for their marriage, for their family creation, and all, any kind of thing it can be. But the core is that is going to be the same, is that we have to sit with ourselves and understand all those feelings while experiencing those feelings. If we avoid those feelings, those experiences, then maybe we are not really ready for that thing to happen which we are waiting for. So, if it is generating frustration within you, and suppose your career takes off, or maybe you were waiting for your uh, family, maybe for your kid, maybe many people face delays in that. So when that frustration is stored in your body, in your mind, in your psychology, in your emotions, how are you going to deal with your career once it takes off? How are you going to treat that child you were waiting for? Will you beat that child up for not coming early? That would not be very pleasant, right? Even we would be very disappointed with ourselves if we do that, isn't it? And it's the same thing with anything. Anything, it is the same thing that is working. It is the pattern we have to recognize within ourselves. Many times the pattern wants to get rid of us instead of we wanting to get rid of the pattern. It is the opposite many times. But we are not letting it go. We are not letting the frustration go. We have to sit with ourselves and feel it and understand this emotion, the experience, the feelings, everything. And once we do, we understand what's next. Once we know that we are feeling very unworthy, we need to reflect, are we really unworthy? Because if human is created by the divine forces, divinity does not create unworthy things. It might sound very cliche or very superficial since we have been hearing it from a very long time. Everybody is saying things like this, but do we really understand it? The Prakriti, the nature, does not create any waste. Even it uses its waste. You know how it works. So it is better, since humans are the highest level of consciousness that Prakriti, that the divine, the nature has created. It definitely has a purpose of its own. It is not a waste, it is not unworthy. It is not. Just uh, write down it in your mind. Uh, do something like I don't know the right words to tell you that how intensely I want to feel it. Just write it on your forehead. But please understand, humans are not unworthy. Every soul is a part of the divine, and divine has its own purpose, which we, out of the veiled wisdom, we might not be able to recognize it yet. And that is the reason of this delay. And this delay might be giving us time to recognize it. And without sitting with ourselves, we will never be able to do that. Maybe all those happenings that we were waiting for might happen, but we may not perform up to that level that we are expected of. It might happen that way if we continue those emotions, the kind of energy that is not needed, if we stay seated in that level of energy and consciousness, then that purpose is also not going to be fulfilled properly, and we might have to come again if you believe in it. So that is another thing. But and what do I mean by sitting with ourselves is totally, completely surrendering to those experiences, those unpleasant feelings, the surroundings, the taunts of others, everything, everything, but with a detached perspective. We do not have to get that negativity enter into us. We do not have to do that. We do not have to do that. So, once that is experienced fully, to whatever we are allowed to, uh, then that can be further clarified with many practices. Some people might feel easy journaling their thoughts, analyzing them later on. Some might want to get into physical fitness stuff, yoga, gym, whatsoever. Some people also get messages, uh, sudden messages while workout, while being in asana. Some people might use meditation as a tool for more clarity. But these are a certain really spiritual, not religious, but spiritual tools that we may use for that clarity to happen, that the delay period is wanting us to use it for. So I hope you can understand it. I really do. I hope you use it, whatever I just said. Be with yourself. And like every other video, this is also a future message for myself. And I hope it helps you too. Rewatch it again if you have not really felt what I wanted to convey. Signing off for now.